topic today and start the chapter. Those students who have got their books, those who have got their syllabus with you, the syllabus is there available in the online cbsc.nic.in. You can download it, you can check it, and till now there is no changes in the syllabus. So, we will continue with the previous year syllabus, and we have the book which is known as the themes of world history, and we have 11 chapters with it. Okay, and we have 11 chapters with it, and all those 11 chapters are there in your syllabus, not a single one you can remove it. Okay, and the first chapter which you have, it is that from the beginning of time till now, till today, whatever the history you have studied the history, those who are in CBSE background, of course, that you have studied the history of more or less India. Basically, you have read the history of some of the European nations like France, Germany and Italy and Russia and some other small countries like the Greece and all, and you have read about some of the social issues of the world history. But in this year you will start to learn about the history from the beginning. Beginning means absolute beginning, means when I and you were not there. I and you, like human beings, we are human beings, we were not there, but the world was there. History is a subject which you know that some of you don't like it, some of you don't feel that the history is very boring. You can feel it boring, you can find it not interesting, but the most interesting thing about history is that everything, every animal, every plant, every human being, every society, every house, every family has history. From the day when no one was there, when with the clash of the two asteroids with the sun and whatever was there, the geographical terms, when the earth was created, from that day history is there. From that day the history has changed, the history has formed, the history has created us. And if we don't know our history, if we don't know our roots, seriously we cannot move a bit. How? Like for example, I am going to Thailand. I am going in the puja vacation to Thailand, so I need my passport, and I am going to my passport office, and they ask me not only my name, they ask me my father's name. That is my history. Not only my father's name, sometimes they ask my mother's maiden name and my grandmother's name. People, when you are entering your schools as a small kids, they ask you your parents' name, where do you live, what is your address. It's your history. If you don't know that, if you can't answer all those questions, maybe you cannot move forward. Yes, definitely there are exceptions to it, there are definitely some of the exceptions definitely are there, but it is good that if you know your root, if you know that from where you belong, from where you came from, it can help you to understand the person you are. It can help you to understand the situation you are in. It can help you to understand the long process through which we are coming to this world, and which helps you to understand that you are a part of this world, not the whole world itself. The world has created you. through evolution, through science, through history, through geography. You have not created everything, right? So that is the why we will start to understand the history from the beginning, how we human beings became like this, me and you, how we look like this, how we can walk straight, how we can use these hands, and then from this we will enter to the different part of the world, the ancient civilization, and how human beings have developed to the modern era. We will see this evolution in this year in class 11. So I welcome you all in this new journey of evolution. And in this new journey of evolution, the first topic which we have, that is chapter 1 and theme 1, that is from the beginning of time, right? So we will today trace the beginning of human existence. It was 5.6 million years ago. Just imagine, 5.6 million years ago, there was the first trace of human-like creature. They were like monkeys, they were like chimpanzees, they were like the different apes who had this long four limbs which we call hand. They had long legs, they had hair in their bodies like the monkeys today have, they had a tail, and they had similar feature, similar biological feature like us. So it was, remember, 5.6 million years ago. What is this MYA? It's nothing, it's the million years ago in short. Now we have a problem with concept of this 5.6. We cannot understand what is it. A very small example, if it can help you to understand this. India got independence in 1947, right? And today it is 2020. More or less 70 to 75 years we have crossed, we have passed. We have successfully passed the years as independent nation. But the nation which was there in 1947 and today it is 2020, is it the same? Yes, the answer is no. Everything of 1947 has changed. As everything of 1947 has changed, which means that it is only 75 years, about 75 years, not even 100, and we are talking about 5.6 million years ago. There was nothing, no towns, no cities, no KFCs, no McD's, no Pizza Hut, no Domino's, no movies. It was all jungle, it was all forest, animals, and we were also animals. Our creatures, we like creatures, were also animals. So from that we become civilized like you and me. How? The process is very, very complicated, and the process is known as evolution. Some of you have studied this in your science topics. There is a process of evolution, and you know the name of Charles Darwin, the scientist, biologist, who said that the evolution process, who published about the origin of species in his book Origin of Species, about the evolution process, and based on his theories, based on his ideas, we historians and the scientists have confirmed that we are at the beginning of 6 million years ago. Okay. Now, in this time period, there was a lot of changes which we can see, and there were different type of people. Okay, and human-like creatures were known as homos, because you know that our scientific name is Homo sapiens, which came much later. Okay, at first we had different categories. We had hominoids and we had hominids, which are like us. They are like us. They had different features than us, but they are similar. What type of features they had? Like these hominoids, they had smaller brain. Okay, smaller brain, what does it mean? First of all, definitely it means that if you have small brain, your buddhi, your intelligence will come very less. Your intelligence will be small. You will not have high intelligence. First thing. And why we have this rounded skull pattern? Why we have this? Because we have a larger brain size. That is the reason why our backside of the head is round. So these hominoids, they didn't have this round shape. It was flat. First thing. We have a amount of forehead, because we know that the brain has different categories and different parts. Here we have the memories and all these. So this part is very important for us. That is why if somebody through accident hits here, they can lose their memory, right? So the hominoids, they have very less part of this, very less. The forehead was very small. Why? Because they have smaller brain. Point number 2. These hominoids and hominids both, they used to have a larger jawbone. What is a jawbone? Like today I am making this movement. This is because of my jaw. I don't have a very big jaw, but big jaws are there with tigers, crocodiles, because they have to eat a lot of food, a lot of meat. They have a very powerful jawbones. Some of the dogs also they have, but we don't need. They had big jawbones. They had big teeth. Our teeth are small, very small in size. Some of us, we are not able to bite the raw guava also. It aches. But these people used to tear the flesh, the meat from animals with their teeth. So they had two strong teeth. T-double-O, too strong. So their teeth were bigger than us and stronger than us. So you can see that how these changes are coming. Definitely the hominoids have much more lesser brain, larger jaws, larger teeth, and quadruped movement. What is a quadruped movement? Quadruped movement means that they used to walk with all fours, hands and legs. Both were used for walking, quadrupeds. Okay, and there is hominids. Hominids have a little bit larger brain than the hominoids. The hominids have larger jaws but little bit smaller teeth than hominoids. But from hominids, they started to have bipedalism. What is bipedalism? Bipedalism means when you walk with two legs. That means they started to stand up, because we have a backbone. this backbone is very strong, and this backbone helps us to stand straight. Otherwise, if we break this, if through an accident I break this or this is broken, I cannot stand straight. I have to be like this, right? So the hominids started to have the strong backbone, okay? And very interestingly, they had a different hand movement. Like today we have hands like this. All our fingers can move and we can do things with this. But early hominids and hominoids, they didn't had this thumb movement. Their thumb was at this position. It was not like this. This shape was not there. As this shape was not there, hand was like this. So they used to hold things in this manner. Like I was holding the pen like this. They used to eat bananas in this manner. They used to have holding the tree branches like this. And this is not a very strong grip. If you back fight from your back of your feet, your grip will lose. But if you have this grip, if you have a strong grip, even if the hit the back of your fist, no slip of this object is done. Not only this, these hominoids, they had this type of strong grip, and later on with the homos and homo sapiens, we had a different hand grip. Not only this one, but we had this one, that is holding a pen, like I am holding the pen like this. This is called a precision grip. When you want to do something perfectly, then you hold this thing like a painter's brush. When a painter paints a picture, he holds the brush in this manner. When we write in this manner. When the doctor holds the scalpel to open the belly, he holds the scalpel in this manner. He doesn't hold it like this and cut the belly like this. It is done when you are a murderer. If you want to kill somebody, you hold the dagger like this and kill somebody, which is not perfect. This is not a very perfect work, which is not a perfect job. But when you want to do a perfect, neat and clean job, you need this precision grip. So this precision grip was not available with the hominoids and hominids. This precision grip was available with the homos, right? So hominoids and hominids, after that the homos, they come. So if you make a chart, so how it will look like? It will look like in this manner, that first it is hominoids, then it is hominids, then it is homos, right? And in the homo group, we have again 3 divisions. What are they? They are Homo habilis, Homo erectus and sapiens. Homo erectus and Homo sapiens. Homo erectus and Homo sapiens, we have that Homo habilis is those creatures who could make tools. Homo erectus is those people who can stand properly, stand upright, strong, straight. And Homo sapiens are those creatures who can think positively, think wisely, think and do their work. Understood? So this is how you can divide the evolution of human being. So first it's an homo-like creature, that is the hominoids. Then it is another developed creature, that is the hominids. Then comes the homos, which is much more developed, and in the homos group you have three type. The first one is a habilis, who used to make tools. Next is erectus who can stand straight like we are standing, and next or the last, that is sapiens, which means a wise man who can think, who has a good amount of brain, large size of brain with them. Understood? Now, now we come to the next part. Like we are talking about evolution, we are talking about organ development, we are talking about brain size, jaw size, teeth size. How this evolution is happening? It's happening just like that, or it has some reason behind it. Definitely it has some reason behind it. Everything in this nature, everything in this world has a reason behind it. Like when I am very bad at math, when I did maths in my school days, I got all my maths incorrect and I used to get very bad marks. My score in maths was very poor. So I was not very happy with this, but I scored good in geography, in English, in history. So I used to study more these subjects and I used to hate maths. So what finally, when I got my school certificate result, I saw that my marks in history, geography, Bengali, English was higher and marks in maths was very poor. What does it tell to this you? What does this tell? That means which I have practiced more, which I have give attention to is better, right? So that means I have got some positive results after reading history. I have got some positive effects after studying geography, which I didn't had while doing math. So I did maths, I didn't do maths, I did these subjects, which is related to our organs also. That means if we use any particular organ for a particular work, that organ will develop. And if we don't use any organs of our body, slowly that organ will be lost from our body, like the tails. The monkeys and chimpanzees and gorillas, they had a small tail. Monkeys have a long tail and gorillas and chimpanzees, they had a small tail. But we don't have. Why? Because we don't need it. The monkeys need it because they swing from the branches of the trees with the help of those tails, long tails. But we don't need it. We have balance is balance in two legs, and our two hands are free to do work. So we don't need it, so we don't have the tail. The organ has gone through evolution. Like that, if you choose any work you engage some of the organs, and if you love that work, if you get a positive result from that work, you get interested, much more interested. For example, if you take the work of tool making, what is the first thing you will notice, or first thing you need to make tools? Yes, it is the stones or the material through which you will make the tool. After you have recognized, who told you that from this material you can make a tool and from that material you cannot make a tool? That from sand you cannot make a tool, but from a stone you can make a tool. Who told you this? If you don't have anybody, around you? Your brain. So for tool making, the first organ which is developed is brain. Right? You are thinking and trying to find a way. After you have thought that okay, I need stone and I will make the tool from it. Then the next activity which you need, you have to search. Where is the stone? Which stone is very perfect? Because you cannot make a very good tool from sandstone, which is soft. You can make a very strong tool from basalt, which is a strong stone. Who will search? Which organ of your body will search that for you? Yes, definitely the eyes. You will search, right? After you look at, oh, there is a stone from which I can make it. So which organ will help you to take that stone and start the work? Two organs. Definitely yes, it is the legs and hands, right? And after you use the legs and hands, you have to go there and bring that back in your hand, right? Hold the big stone in your hand. So how you will come back if you are downward, if you are quadruped? If you are straight, your hands are free, you can bring that in with your hand. So the other portion which is needed, that is your upright posture, right? Your upright posture is needed. That means you can see here that for just only one work, that is tool making, your brain, your eyes, your legs and hands and your upright posture is developing. And as these are developed, you can make the tool. So the arrows will be both ways, which means if you take any work in your free time, think about any work. It can be dancing, it can be music, it can be hunting, it can be drawing, it can be any other work. Which are the organs which help you to do that? For a player, for a dancer, for a teacher, everything is needed because we get a positive feedback. As we get a positive feedback, our organs are developing. As our organs are developing, we can do different work, right? We do different work, we go for different things because our organs are developed. There are many human beings whose every organ of the body is not as perfect as yours. So those people, they have disabilities, and we have those disabled person in our society, and ask them, they have lots and lots of difficulties in their life. And we people, we have everything in our life, still we think that we are disabled because we don't use our organs. Okay, so every work, if you get a positive feedback, your different organs will develop, and this will give you the idea that how our organs have developed, how from this holding we become this and then this, how from smaller brain size we became bigger brain size, how from big teeth we became smaller teeth people. This is the reason how we have evolved, and this pattern or this system is known as positive feedback mechanism. This is known as the positive feedback mechanism, right? So this is how our organs can develop. Understood? Okay. Now the question comes that we are talking about human beings, we are talking about early human beings, we are talking about homos, we are talking about hominoids and everyone. So as we talk about them, the first thing which we should understand very clearly is that where was their origin, from where they have originated. Have I originated from India, or where you originated from America? The time which we are talking about, it is the time long before, and that time tells us that we have a long history. So our origin is also long, and we have to understand through different resources, different evidences which has been found in the whole world, that the origin of human beings is Africa, because it is the place from where the first evidence of human being has been found. The bone structures, the fossils, the food items, the caves have been found first in Africa, from where it is supposed that everyone else, me and you, everyone in the whole world has been originated from Africa. So now we will see the story of human evolution, how they have evolved, how we have seen how their organs are evolving. Now we will see how the person, how the particular hominoid or particular Homo sapiens have evolved. We understood, we have taken it granted that every human being has been originated from Africa, right? Now, if we all originated from Africa, how me and a Japanese girl look different? How a Kashmiri girl and an African girl look different? How a British woman and how a Pakistani woman look different? How? That means there are other factors too to this evolution. The historians, the archaeologists, they have suggested two very different models, two very divergent models to understand this. Okay, they understand, to understand this two different categories, to understand these two different models, the historians have suggested that one is called a replacement model, right? Another is regional continuity model. The regional continuity model, what does it mean? From the replacement, the name, you can understand that there was a replacement, there was a change, there was a replacement in the model, or there was a replacement of the human beings. What they say? They say that there was a place which is known as Africa. From there, human beings evolved and went to Europe and Asia. Apes, chimpanzees, they have gone to these places, but then suddenly something happened, like the ice age where the dinosaurs have been killed, the dinosaurs have died, and as the dinosaurs have died, those big creatures, those very strong and powerful creatures, what will happen to the human beings? They will also die. So they died, everything was dead. But not everything was dead in Africa. Again, in the previous years, in the later part of the development, a new batch of developed creatures again evolved, who were better adaptable, who were better developed, and again they went back to places like Asia and Europe. Again they went to these places, right? That means that from Africa they originated, but there was an end of that old civilization, there was an end of that old culture, and a new replaced, better developed, better adaptable people, they again developed from Africa and again migrated to Europe and Asia. This is known as the replacement model, and those archaeologists who promote this model, they say that that is the reason how human beings are quite same, how human beings are quite alike in the whole world. How? Like everywhere, when a baby takes birth, he crawls, he doesn't run. It doesn't like that in India, after the baby is born, he starts walking. No. He will crawl, he will first cry, he will try to learn how to turn back, and then he will crawl. And then he will stand up, then he will walk, and then he will run. This is the same process which is available from Greenland to South Pole. Everywhere the same. This similarity shows that they have a same system, same origin, and same process, right? So today I'll end up my class with this, and in my next class I will talk about the regional continuity model, where different type of ideas have been given. So thank you till now.